Welcome, Mage. I'm Rhino.
And I'm Papa Mage.
And how long have you been playing Magic?
I started in beta, which was a few years ago, just not that long, okay? And how long have you been playing Magic?
Half my life. Ever since I was 7.
So 7 years. Now, the big question is, how long have you been playing Arena?
Ever since it started.
And I've been playing Arena 2 weeks. So, in this video, we're going to talk about 8 things we don't like about Arena. Now, I know there's tons of things that people don't like about Arena. Now, let's go over the things that we're not going to talk about. We're not going to be talking about
The codes in the packs and decks. Yeah, they can do a lot better and in the codes. So
yeah, the professors talked about this a lot.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer. They should do it. There's plenty of models where it works, and it works great, and it's a great way of getting people to Arena. So, yeah, and there should be codes and packs. All right.
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
The shuffler. Okay. The shuffler, there's a lot of people that complain about the shuffler, how it doesn't work very well, and I'm sure the Arena team is working on that. Yes, I've played in my 2 weeks, and I've had multiple times I've drawn 8 lands in a row in a deck that has almost no lands in it. So, is it how it does it? We don't know, but I'm sure they're working on it. Another thing we're not going to be talking about is
Brawl all the time. I really like Brawl, and yeah, they technically do Brawl, but they really need to do Brawl more often.
Yeah, the whole Wednesday Brawl thing, and now at the moment they've got Brawl all the time, but is it going to stay that way? We hope so, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And the last thing is the ports for Mac and mobile devices. They said that they're coming out with those, so we believe them. So we're going to go with that. So now we're going to go on to the 8 things we don't like about
MTG Arena.
All right. Now, in no particular order, the first one is a difficult one. And this one is one that I came up with. I have very little information about my opponent.
Yeah.
What information do we have? We have their avatar
and random numbers.
Well, their name and some random numbers. It's like, okay, I have no idea where they're from. What is their win ratio? Not that I need that to glean information off of, but it could be something like, hey, this person's play has been on Arena since this date, or they've got so many wins this week, or something like that. Nothing that's negative, but I want to get a little more information because Magic is a game where you sit down face to face and you play your opponent and you have a chance to talk to them. We don't need to have
sit down and avatar to avatar, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we don't need to have a full chat mode, but it would be nice to have a little more information. So yeah, that's just one thing that number one for me was that very little information about the opponent. Number 2
is phase skipping. I find this a little annoying, and it goes by really fast, and I go to attacks, and it goes to my end stuff. It's like, oh jeez, why?
Okay, well, yeah, and this harkens back to playing Magic face to face. Even if you've got all your mana tapped and you have no creatures out, you still have the combat phase, and you can still think about things, and the whole thing, it just shoots by so quickly, and it automatically ends your turn, and I don't want it to do that because I want to have a chance to think about things. Think about chess. I mean, this is like a game of chess.
Exactly.
You have your chance to make your move and think about things, and we're yes, I understand they're trying to optimize it, but some things just don't need to be optimized.
Just
So
doesn't fit.
yeah. So number 3 is there's no proxy mode for testing decks. Now, you and I are
Yeah.
we brew decks. We
Yeah.
love brewing decks. We
Yeah.
love coming out with great ideas for decks. And there's a lot of times we don't have the cards for these decks, but we want to see how they work. And so we'll write on a piece of paper, hey, this is this card, and we'll put it in a sleeve, and we'll play it and see, well, yeah, that worked, or no, this was a bad move. It slowed everything down. It was horrible. So, you know, we've got the best, I don't know, a proxy sort of thing going with the bot. So the bot can play games with you, so you can test out decks. Why can't you put in cards that you haven't crafted yet? Because crafting is, you know, getting those wild cards takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and you don't really want to waste them. And there's no way to buy wild cards, at least not as far as I know. If there was, then
that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. You know, I would just buy wild cards and craft just the cards that I wanted and not worry about packs. So there really needs to be a proxy mode. And I know that some people are going to say, hey, I want to play an opponent with proxy decks. And I understand, okay, yeah, it would be great for content developers. So, hey, this is a deck I came up with, and we played this, and these are the interactions, and this is who I played against. But I understand that that can be misused. And so there needs to be a cost to playing a proxy deck. And maybe that's 250 gold per game or something like that. So you have to play in order to get the right to play a proxy deck. So.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Don't know what to say. But you can go on to number 4, which is
timeouts don't make sense. Yeah, 1 or 2 timeouts go by, but I see my opponent go through 8 timeouts. It's like, okay, you're basically telling me to concede.
Yeah, well, you know, there's like no repercussions to timeouts. And if you're playing a face-to-face game and somebody's taking a long time, you're there, you know, saying, hey, do you have anything? Or do you just want to skip? You know, you need to go. And
I don't have all day.
Yeah. So one of the things we were thinking about is, okay, if you're in your first main and you go through a timeout, it should skip over combat. And if you're in your second main and you miss your timeout, then it should automatically end your turn.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
we want to speed the games up.
Well, we want to speed them up, but we want to speed them up in the right way. And, you know, a timeout's there for a reason. It's there in case you're having a hard time making a decision. So it kind of helps you with that decision-making process. So, yeah, the timeouts don't make sense. They need to make more sense. Number 5 is conceding at sorcery speed. Now, this is something that we do a lot in Commander. You know, whenever somebody's playing in Commander, we say, look, if you're going to concede, you concede at sorcery speed on your turn because
it's your decision.
Yeah, it's your decision and it should be done on your turn. Now, in Commander, it can become a big problem because I've had people go through and wipe the board and then go, oh, okay, well, I concede, and everybody's board is wiped, and it's like, okay, you just wasted all of our time. Now, in a one-on-one play game, it's not quite as bad, but, you know, we've got daily quests. And, you know, I've been playing 2 weeks, okay? And I'm trying to get those daily quests in so that I can earn my experience and I can get my packs. And when somebody concedes while I'm in the middle of doing my thing, it messes that up. So, you know, I don't mind them conceding, but I don't want it to happen until their turn.
that makes a lot of sense. And I've had that experience before. So I go to uh my quest and attack with 30 creatures, and I'm at 29 and they immediately concedes.
And so you have to play another game just to
Get,
attack with one more creature.
yeah,
Right.
it's just like, come on.
Yeah. And it can be somewhat silly. So, number 6.
Number 6 is you gotta tell the bot what type of deck to play.
Okay, the bot is there to test decks.
Yes, it's basically deck building.
So, what sort of things would you want the bot to be able to do?
I would want the bot to play like one of the challenger decks. I want it to be okay. I want it to be medium hard, really hard. Yeah, it would help out a lot. Yeah, they won't be able to play it really well.
Yeah, we know the bot isn't a great player, but if it has a really good deck, at least it's going to be a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
And if you want to just have a game where you're doing something that's kind of just fun mode, then yeah, the bot can do one of the pre-con decks or something like that. So, number 7, we know drafting is getting better and better on Arena. But right now, it seems like they're stuck in this you can only draft one set at a time. And I don't know how many people are playing on Arena or how many people are drafting, but we would like to be able to play the current set pretty much all the time. Draft the current set all the time while the current set's out. And maybe one other set that's currently in standard. But maybe there could be something where we can have mixed sets or draft one of the older sets because I'm a new player. I don't have a bunch of cards. All I've got is cards from the current set. And I have no ability to get any other cards. So being able to draft more than one set at a time would be great. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm running 3 drafts at once. Maybe I'm just drafting one. So that's it for drafting. What's number 8?
Number 8 is the cost of packs that are not in standard. They are the same cost in standard. If I go to Ixalan, they're the exact same. And I just sorry. Go ahead.
Well, that really comes down to the difference between paper cards and digital cards. In the case of digital cards, they have no value because we can't trade the cards.
Yeah.
Okay. And cards that are in standard in digital are worth more than the cards that aren't in standard because there's so many more ways that you can play the standard cards than the non-standard cards. So going back to Ixalan and stuff like that, things that have rotated out, they shouldn't be the same cost to buy into. There should be other ways of getting those cards. And that way I can build up the cards that I want for a historic game. And you can, maybe buy, you've got, 1,000 gold, and instead of getting 1 pack of a current set, you can get 3 packs of an older set.
That'd be a great deal.
Yeah, it would be a great deal, and it would be a good reason for me to spend, some of that gold on that. So now this is to you.
What things do you think they should fix in Arena?
Do you think what we said is good or bad?
Yeah.
And what do you think of this mixed generation MTG? So tell us in the comments below.
And until then, I have more videos coming out soon. So until then, me
and me, Papa Mage,
ourselves back into the library.
I have no idea if we are in this together or not. And wow. Whoa, wow. We'll find you. Okay.